give us some help like they did last year, quite surprisingly actually, but the medium-term financial strategy is for a 2.5% increase next year and the year after in council tax.
So do you think it's a cop-out not to go for another council tax freeze?
I would like to cut tax. I would like to freeze it or cut it, but the reality is, Chairman, when we are dealing with the biggest cuts in modern history, that the revenue is such that we will have to increase council tax going forward. That's the plan. If we want to cut and have a freeze alone is going to cost us about £4 million. So, you know, if we look...
Which could be found if there was a political...
Chairman, I'm sure, and that's what I'm here for now. If you and your committee would like to recommend where that £4 million is cut from, then we can consider that.
Right. Yeah, okay, we may well get some suggestions from colleagues as the evening progresses. Right, how confident are you of the Barnet savings?
Well, it's an appendix to the report, Chairman. Of course, there's a few factors to Barnet. There's the outsourcing programmes which are going on as we speak, and what I feel is that the proposals that are coming in, being drawn up at the moment, will actually meet or exceed the savings targets that we've set out. So that's one side. All the other sort of little schemes, if you like, for instance, you know, transport, legal, all that sort of thing, they're on track, and you've got the table that shows how much those schemes have cost. And then you've got then how much they are set to save either this year or going forward. So confident actually. And actually, Chairman, you know, last year we had £30 million worth of cuts in the budget. We achieved that. So you know, I think that gives a good track record when it comes to our figures.
So you're pretty confident of the Barnet savings?
I am.
Excellent. Talk about fees and charges. What scope in the budget will there be for raising of fees and charges?
There's no limit, is there, Chairman, as you know?
Indeed. So there will be rises in fees and charges across the board.
We haven't set any increases in addition to the ones that have already gone through. The services are proposing to put that forward. That will come in November, but the fees and charges as detailed in the scheme will remain. We're not looking to tinker with those.
What about inflation rises for fees and charges?
No, we don't have a policy of increasing fees and charges by inflation.
Right.
They're quite specific.
And that will include parking, will it?
That will include parking.
Okay. Could you? I think there's a line in the budget for 150,000. Is it increased revenue by using cameras for traffic enforcement? Karen? 130,000. Is that going ahead?
That's the yellow box enforcement. If I.
And no right turns, no left turns. And camera enforcement. So camera enforcement for traffic offences is going ahead.
For yellow boxes, yellow boxes. Not
what it says in the budget. But the yellow boxes for left turn, no left turns, no right turns.
As downturns and instruction of yellow box junctions.
So that's going ahead. Okay. And the cameras are in place to deal with the time. Fine. Could you tell us now, Dr., the impact on the budget changes in council tax benefit?
That's detailed in the report in Cabinet resources a while back. We got consultations, £4 million, Chairman. So we're currently consulting on how best to plug that gap, and there's all sorts of ways we could do it. So we're taking into account.
And where's your thinking going?
So now. Well, I'll wait to see what the consultation says.
Where's your thinking going?
Well, I have an open mind, Chairman.
You've just asked us to suggest £4 million of savings to freeze council tax, and you're telling me there's another £4 million of cost because of changes to council tax benefit. So you must know how you're thinking of plugging that gap of £4 million.
I'll try and help you in terms of the consultation. There were a few methods of for instance, ending certain discounts.
But not single persons.
No, not single persons at discount, and not the pensions and all the rest of it, and then there's an element of collecting some council tax. There are a lot of people out there at the moment who don't pay any council tax whatsoever, and it's assessing are there people out there who actually could afford to pay some. So I think we've got a few elements, and until actually we're still working on the figures of this. to make sure that any scheme is sensitively priced, because what we don't want to do is go out there with a scheme and end up with a shortfall. So whilst the consultations are ongoing, we're still looking at our figures and reaching our estimates.
But 4 million we've got to find, that will be found within the council tax budget, it won't be found from further cuts in other services.
That's what we're trying to do, is to avoid this spreading to other services.
Right, okay, I'll start with that. Councillor Wams, I think, has got that. Have the savings been delivered following the closure of Barnet Library?
The revenue savings have, but obviously the capital savings haven't, because we haven't sold the building. So yes, the revenue savings have come in because the library is now closed.
So why did we turn the electricity off? Sorry, I don't understand how, you're saying there are no ongoing revenue costs from Barnet Library, and yet it's lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well, at the moment, there are people in there with running the energy, fine, okay, that's a very small cost in terms of the whole library. The librarians and the staff in there have now been taken out, and those are the biggest costs, Chairman, as you know.
Security.
Can I just make one comment? Of course, the power had to be left on in order to leave the burglar alarm on. Which will be an important piece of evidence in the ensuing court case.
And we shall do